Hey, in this video, let's talk about getting specific as to what you want, right? What kind of life you want to lead. Um, so the reason why you should get specific is because number one, um, if it's specific enough, you will create that vision, okay? And two, you stop wasting a lot of time basically. Therefore, you can live whatever vision you want to live out, right? The sooner, right? So let's first start with being specific, just because eventually you will create that vision of you, okay? So when you don't have um, a purpose, right, or a clear vision for your life, right? What you want to do, where you want to be, where you want to live. Do you know what kind of family do you want? What kind of just overall life you want? What ends up happening? You keep drifting through the life, right? You waste a lot of time, right? And I know this is easier said than done. And sometimes we even do have to drift a little to maybe do the stuff we don't want, to realize this is not what I want, and instead, find what you want, something different, right? Um, but when you're not very specific, life will give you things that aren't very specific, right? So you kind of like are swaying in the wind, and you go here and here and here. And I'm not saying that is all negative, because like I said, you still find out maybe through doing things that you don't want, you find out what you want, right? Through dating a person that's not good for you, maybe you find out and find a person that is good for you, right? By working maybe a job that you hate, it drives you enough to find a job that you love, right? Or career or whatever it is. So sometimes you need to, find out what you want through the things that you do not, you wouldn't favor for, right? So that's a little part of it. But the other part is when you get very specific, right? You tend to start working towards those specific goals, right? And like I always say, these goals, this life that you're trying to create is different from anybody, okay? Anybody and everybody. Don't try to create a life that your neighbor has or that your brother or sister have, right? We are all different. We have different needs, different wants, different desires and dreams. Number one, be true to what is right for you, right? So stop looking at others, stop comparing yourself to others, right? But going back to the more specific you are, you're gonna take steps towards those specific goals, right? And then one step will lead to the next and to the next and to the next, right? You're not just, even if there's like a little detour, if it's really meant for you and for something that you should be doing, even though you take a little detour, you still will be kind of pushed back onto that path, right? And I talk into in my other videos, I think I've done a video about this already, how emotion is key to anything that you want, right? Because when you have a vision, let's say you even do visual exercises, right? The way visual exercises work is that they try to impress on your subconscious mind, right? And when something becomes a true, real internal belief in your subconscious mind, you will see it on the outside, right? But when you visualize, your subconscious mind, a lot of people call it unconscious mind, doesn't recognize you imagining versus you actually doing it. It doesn't recognize in the future and in the past, it just thinks now. It doesn't recognize positive, negative, it just whatever you feed it, right? And also when you imagine stuff, like when you close your eyes and daydream, it doesn't know the difference whether it's really happening to you or not, right? So when you get a clear vision of something you want, helpful tip, sit down, visualize, right? And visualize with great detail what it is. And then follow up with emotion. How would it feel if you already have your dream job or dream spouse, or you're traveling all over the world, right? Whatever it may be, try to attach some kind of emotion and energy to it. And when you do, you will see how fast it kind of like pulls you towards that vision, right? But the key is to have that purpose, right? If you don't know what you want, the best thing you could ever do is start working on yourself, right? Work on yourself, and then that vision will come to you, okay? And a helpful tip, once you already have that vision, is to be decisive, right? A lot of the times we create a vision for whatever we want, and then we're like, how we're gonna get there, this. If you thought about it and you formulated some kind of a plan, even if there's multiple options, go with what feels right in the moment. Go with your gut. Be decisive, okay? You don't have to figure out the whole plan ahead of time. You have to have a vision for it, but if you would try to figure out every step along the way, you're gonna get so overwhelmed you will never even start, right? So take the first step, and then it will lead you to the next step, the next, and the next. And I talked about this in my other video already, so I'm not going to go too much into detail, right? um, but like I said, key points is you need to know what you want, uh, know what you don't want, right? So you can start going towards um, that vision of whatever, if you want to be healthier, if you want to make more money, if you want to have better relationships, right? I always preach, real success is different to everybody, right? I know we focus on so much the financial aspect, uh, and when you even would ask a person, right, about true abundance in life, or the instinct is wealth for some reason, right? We're so fixated upon it, right? But true abundance in life could be, like I said, beautiful family, you travel, you love what you do for a living, right? It's not always the money, right? And a key point is when you follow your passions and something you're excited about, usually the money follows. If you ask a lot of entrepreneurs or successful people, how did they get that and they make so much money and this and this, if you want to speak about money, right? Usually they'll be like, well, I just loved this, or I was really excited to do this, and then the money followed. It's never, I wanted, I was money hungry and this, because that's a fast track how to become miserable too, right? So sit down, be honest with yourself, right? And make sure the dream for you, the vision for you is yours. It's not your parents, it's not your spouses, it's not your friends, right, that are doing something. It is specific to you. We are all very different, very individual, and we need to find that purpose of what it is we are supposed to be doing, right? And sometimes, like I said, it comes in a way of wasted years, kind of floating around, right? But if you're serious about it, eventually, and have the vision for it, eventually will find you. So um, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment. Okay, if anything kind of, this material resonates with you. And yeah, on to the next one. Thanks.